Welcome back, everybody. Happy 4th of July. What's more American than working on some antique American tractors? Seems like a good idea to me. Been out here a good portion of the day trying to further disassemble this 1525 in the yard. But it's getting kind of gray out, so I might have to abort mission and go inside if it starts to rain here. Figured I'd catch you up on what I got done so far today, though. I got the remainder of the steering bands off of the front wheels, so they are all off now. I got the radius rods off the tractor from the front axle back to there. I have gotten the drag link removed. Of course, that's always fun to get those plugs out. Some heat was involved. They came out nicely once I heated up the ends. Nothing fancy there, just a little propane torch was enough to do that. I got the tie rod off. That end came apart pretty good, actually. Pretty surprised there. It was wore out. You can see there's what's left of a bronze bushing in that hole. Somebody had taken it apart and put some sheet metal shims in there to sleeve it to try to take it up the slop, I suppose. Interesting observation. If you remember on the 1525 in the garage, the steering arm on the front spindle, the keyway was pretty much shot. This one is the same way. The keyway is either missing or completely sheared off because there's nothing holding that from rotating. So that'll be a little fun to get that apart. I got the grease fitting out and the grease cap off here, and this lock bolt on the front that holds the kingpin in place. So in theory that should all come apart now. I've got to work on that yet. I'm in the process of working on getting the front axle pivot point out, get this cotter pin out, and then I can get that pin out, and then the whole front axle can come off. I got the block, or the tractor blocked up on that now, so there's front axle is, can remove that. Reason being, I want to be able to take it all out so I can take the axle and related parts from the tractor in the garage, eventually put on this tractor to be able to move it around when we get to the point of wanting to get this one over and into the garage. And all the stuff needed to come apart eventually anyway, so why not start taking it apart. Here's the one plug from the front of the drag link. The spring was broken in there, so we'll have to get a new one of them. The other parts look like they're probably still usable. Threads are nice yet. There's my specialized drag link removal tool. Pays to have some junk around. Like I said, there's that cap and dot style grease fitting. I think that's pretty much it for what I got done right now. We'll see what the weather does, and I'll check back with you later. Got the wheel off. Bearings are toast as expected. That was the seal, I think, or what's left of a seal. This bearing came apart in pieces. There's a whole bunch of cobbled up shims and spacers and rings and whatever on that outside there, so yeah, we got a mess there, just like the other tractor. Well, it's starting to sprinkle, so I think that's the universe's way of saying, take a break, Jacob. Oh, I got the axle out, but it's been a struggle. I had to sacrifice the front pin because it was not budging at all. It was okay because it was wore out anyway, so we're going to have to remake a new one anyway, so I didn't feel too bad about cutting it. I just sliced it on either side of the axle to get the axle out. I got the front half punched out, and I'm working on getting the rear half out. It's still pretty, it's moving, but it's pretty hard. I've been hitting it really hard. Big punch, hammer. So I might have to try something a little different. Maybe drill it out a little bit first or something, or whatever. I hate to wail on this casting too hard. I'd cry if I ended up breaking this front ears here on the front casting. That would be bad. Oh, but I think I'm gonna pick up all my tools and put all this stuff away and maybe go do something in the garage for a little while. Here's a better look at that spindle. It had been broken and brazed up in the past, and they did some type of, I don't know if it's braze or weld, something along here. I don't know if they were trying to build up where it was wore out or what was going on there. But so this spindle's got a fair amount of issues as well. Maybe with any luck, the spindles on the Michigan parts tractor will be in better shape and we'll be able to use them. I'll have to get them all apart before we'll know that. Of course, we're in no hurry for that. It's going to be a long time before we need them, but might save us some issues, because these old repairs, you know, they always worry me a little bit. It's probably fine, but you never know. Another thing I noticed is this front axle is bent, twisted. So the kingpins are not in the same plane. You probably won't be able to see that. Maybe you even can see that on camera. You can see this one angles back that way. So that's not great either, because I know the front axle on the Michigan tractor is very rotten. Remember me pointing out there were spots where it was rotten right through that main web. So yeah, we'll have to think about that one, figure out how we're going to address that, if we'll have to try to straighten this one, or if we'll have to try to repair the Michigan one. What'll be the worst option type of thing. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at so far. The other day I did round up some felt for the shift ball. It's actually just a strip. I was looking in the parts book and discovered that. I was originally assuming it was a cutout one ring, but it's not. It's just a strip of 1/4 by 1/4 felt, and I actually had some of that left over from the 612 final drives, so that'll work out perfect for that. Yeah. So we got the wheels taken off of the Michigan parts tractor today. Working on trying to get the axle freed up so we can take that out to see if by chance it's any good to use on the other tractors. It's stuck though. The bearings are all seized and the axle is seized. So we're working on trying to get that freed up. Got a few more things moving in the transmission. You got one of the shift rails wiggling. Got the detents out of this one. It's hard when nothing moves. It makes everything more difficult. I don't think I've shown you Dad had gotten the engine pulled out before. Slowly making progress on that then. Rotted out oil pan, but it still has a semi-intact pickup screen, which is better than the other two tractors, so we'll have something to reverse engineer when that day comes. And so we can show you the final drives of the wheels. Dad was saying that at least the one side looked really good. I think they both look decent. I'm out here, outside for now. Let's see if I can sneak in here and take a look. Yeah, they look really nice. Hardly anywhere on that side. This side's pretty worn. I don't know if this side will be any good or not. Yeah, I think this side's probably kind of shot. But any good part is a good part. Any good part is a good part. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, but you know what I meant. Got the rear axle taken out here today. I wanted to get that out to see if by chance it was any good to use. It's not. The bearings are worn into it just like the other axles, so that's no good. But we got it out. A little wiggling and beating, and finally slid it out. We just pulled out the pinion axle from this side so we can get the differential out. We got the differential caps off. Show you our redneck setup over here. To pull it, because in theory those axles should just slide right out of there, but because everything is so rusted up and stuck, they don't. So we just got a big bearing splitter and some all thread and some just chunks of tubing just to push up against, and we're just pulling it out that way. And it's coming. You can see the bearing is coming out there. So let's see if we can get that rest of the way out here then. And then the differential will be next. There you go. That axle's out. And probably bearings and stuff probably are no good on them. The other side, maybe it wasn't as bad as this side. But now we should be able to lift the differential out. If we can figure out something to chain it up here. D15 with the loader sure is handy. You just use that to pick up the differential and get it out of the tractor. It is crusty. It's been sitting in gunk for a lot of years. Oh, well, you'll be able to see in here, it's pretty dark. But it is full of gunk and ick and water and rust and nothing pretty.